Okay, I think I have it. I think I have it working again.
You sure?
Yeah.
This is about the third time.
I had to tie around the wires because there's really no outlet in this apartment.
Yeah, I mean, what is that thing you tied it to?
That is...
Is that a radiator?
I think it's a radiator.
Okay.
It may be a radiator. It's metal, so it's conducting electricity.
Is that why it's not producing any heat?
I have no idea. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a man of science.
Look, this is one of the worst places we have ever recorded in.
Look, it's the best we could manage on such short notice.
Were you about to say afford?
Well, we didn't.
Yeah.
We said we'd pay for it,
yeah,
but
we did.
We're not going to.
That landlord...
Wait, can the landlord hear us from up here? Probably not.
Well, hold on. Oh. Yeah. That is paper thin.
Well then, welcome to the Brooks and Zach 100 Years Podcast. I'm Brooks.
I'm cold.
I'm cold too.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not... Coldness is not exclusive to you, mister.
Wait, you sure?
I don't know why I said that.
Alright, now, I bet everybody's wondering, hey, Brooks and Zach, you guys are being shot at by a bunch of snipers, and the police were coming after you, and did you die?
Here comes our news segment of the episode, which is going to be what's happened to us so far.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Fun fact, little spoiler, we did not die.
No.
Almost did, I guess. We died on the inside, if that helps.
No, that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's before we started doing the 100 Years.
No, I think it was like immediately after the first episode.
I think it was actually the first time you said welcome today. I went, that's what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
Anywho.
So, eventually, don't worry listeners, we'll get back to pop culture news one of these days. But for right now... The length of the segment would be filled with
how we got out of the Brooks and Zach 100 Years Tower, which I can see it from here. It's on fire again.
Is it on fire again?
It's either on fire or there's a lot of spotlights on it, and they're all orange spotlights, and they have a very flamey texture. It's on fire. I'm certain it's on fire.
I mean, our insurance covers that, right?
I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, so we got into the vents.
Okay. So, if you last recall, after a brutal attack from a wall possum, which I've not gone over yet...
Look, that was your fault.
Was it, though?
Yes.
I was trying to save us.
You broke in... Look, if somebody took a hammer...
Also, you gave it a name.
Yeah, Jeremiah. And she was lovely. But now she's dead. Thanks for
How long have you known that we've had wall possums?
How long have we been in this building? Who do you think brought the wall possums in?
Damn it, Zach.
What? They were cold outside in the trash. They were cold outside. Look, I can't say no to a friendly little possum in the trash.
Yeah, you walk by it and leave it in the trash.
No, you walk by the trash, and then you hear the sounds of and you're like, oh, and then you turn back and you pick it up and you bring it into your thing as the people putting up the drywall, and then you're like, hey, I'm gonna set this between the drywall. Don't tell Brooks. And the construction worker's like, you got it, Mac. I'm like, my name's Zach. Right, Mac. Zach. Mac. That went on for a while.
It lasted days.
But,
yeah.
Get it? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but every time you say, but, I go, tss.
Now I have stuff to cut. Yay! Dun. Anyway.
In the vents. Let's just...
It's a good thing that Janice found those wall possums. I mean, I may hate Janice, but at least she found the wall possums, so that we could order the fumigation. But that kind of backfired in us.
I still don't understand how fumigation led to the police. We'll worry about that some other time, because right now we got to tell the listeners how we got to this.
What I think, my overall theory,
yes,
is that we used to live in a timeline that had JFK alive and served 2 terms, and we didn't go to the Vietnam War, and everything was fine.
This is a popular theory. You say this theory all the time.
And then somebody, for whatever reason, time traveled, went back, killed JFK, and thus created a darker timeline in which we live, and 2 Baby Geniuses movies exist.
You really hate the Baby Genius movies.
I fucking despise the Baby Geniuses movies.
Look,
Do not undersell this.
I didn't understand what your hatred was for until I was like, what was the Baby Geniuses movies anyway? Saw the trailer, and it was terrible. But for you to make so many accusations about it, I think we need to sit down and watch it.
Look, maybe. I don't know.
Whenever we get working electricity or working heat. I would like working heat.
Working heat would be nice. Listeners, picture it in your mind, because you have to, because this is an audio-based entertainment format. But we are sitting there on the construction floor of the Brooks and Zach 100 Years building, with snipers covering us entirely, and we escape through the vents.
Yes.
So we're crawling.
Yep.
We're just crawling around.
I remember that.
We're crawling for a long time, and I'm like, how tall is this building?
We were about on the 20th floor, I think. We were pretty low, considering it was the Brooks and Zach 100 Years 100th floor tower.
Yes.
I remember it got to a point where we've definitely been crawling for at least 5-10 minutes, and I was bored. Okay? You know how I get when we're in
You
confined
do
spaces.
get very easily bored when you're claustrophobic.
Yes, so I figured we're probably in the right spot. They're not gonna look for us in the vents. I just gotta dig through the first vent.
Yeah. You didn't bother sharing this plan with me at the time.
No.
And
look, it worked because...
Did it, though?
Look, there was this hole I made. I had my trusty knife, or glass, I guess. It was still in my hand, so I just had to do one of those quick circular wax on, wax off motions. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So I did that.
In the meantime, I turned to you and said, "Hey Zach, if we go this way, we may be able to reach an elevator shaft, and we'll be able to get out pretty safely."
And I responded with, "Yeah, Brooks, I'm completely on that, because I know if you saw me, you would have tried to stop me." So, I finally got it. The steel vent part... It wasn't steel. What is that metal the vents are made out of? Aluminum?
Probably. I don't know.
Anyway, the vent section fell out. I went, cool, Brooks! And
I did my classic, what the fuck, Zach?
Classic Brooks. I know that means you're always ready for any plan I've got.
No, that is the
so
opposite
I grabbed
of
your
that
legs
thing.
and dived forward, carrying you behind me. We were like a back-to-back 69 position as we fell through the...
You know, in horror movies, when a character is being dragged off into the dark and, like, their nails are scraping against the ground as they're going, that was sort of me in this situation, because I knew where this was going to lead us.
No. It was fine. And in that free fall, I don't know where we were or how we were falling, just perfectly down this dark pit.
Probably a ventilation system.
Might be a ventilation system. We were in the vents.
We were. Past tense.
That would explain.
We were in the vents, yes.
So as we were falling, I distinctly remember the sound of fuck, God, why, Zach? Zach, please, you're going to be the death of me. Zach, why?
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know what that was.
I wonder where that came from. Yeah. I wonder. If only it's just another unsolved mystery, we'll never know of where those noises came from.
Yeah, but I kind of can't remember a little bit after that. I remember I hit my head, and then we were in the sewer. What happened before that?
Okay, because of the position that you described so eloquently that we were falling
back-to-back 69.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The only way to fall.
I was fairly unscathed, but we landed on you. And I thought you were dead, and I was going to leave you there, but then you just sort of, like, turned and moaned a little. You were just like...
my classic Zach catchphrase of...
Yes. I'm like, he said his catchphrase. It's alive, damn it. So, okay. So we're in the bottom of this pit.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea what it's doing in our building. Our designers probably... Well... First, they made the entire building out of wood. That was a mistake. And then they made this one, and I'm like... Alright. The last building was made out of wood. We specifically told them, hey, please don't make the next one out of wood. Zach will probably set it on fire.
No,
and so they've made a lot of
shack carpeting on the 50th floor.
They've made some kind of goddamn labyrinth of a building where I get lost every day on my way to work.
It's to prevent the fire from knowing where to go. It keeps the fire confused. Don't worry, I told them to do that.
Damn it, Zach. Okay, so we're at the bottom of this pit.
Yes.
It's dank, it's cold, it's all sorts of things, but at least we're away from the snipers.
That was a plus.
So I'm looking around for any way out. And so I grab you.
Yep.
I strain to put you on my back. And I just look for a way out.
Oh, right, I woke up at that point. But I like being carried. Nobody ever really carries me. So continue. It's still your story. It's still...
All right then. So I looked around for a bit with no luck, and then I found the tiniest little opening right in the corner. Okay. I'm like, well, it's better than nothing. In order to test this out, I'm just going to sort of shove in Zach first. Yeah. So I shoved you head first. Your shoulders got caught a little.
Yes, they did.
So I just forced it hard enough, and then the rest of you went through pretty easily.
It's a lot of pain. I still have the bruises on my shoulders from that.
Yeah, and then
I was committed. I was committed to playing dead, though.
So I listened. A moment passed, and I listened. Then I just heard a kablunk, like falling into water. Is that sound effect? I don't know. I'm not a sound man.
It was more like a... I flicked myself with an Adam's apple trying to make the noise. Anyway.
Listeners, he tried to make the sound effect of landing in water with his mouth. See, he's trying to do it. That's not really what it sounds like. More like a splash.
Just add in the sound effect. Just add in the sound effect.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow, that was a great sound effect. That was exactly what the moment sounded like, Brooks. Good job.
It'll be a lot funnier if there's no sound there.
Anyway,
so as soon as I hear a splash, I'm like, that's probably fine. So I went in feet first with my arms up, so I went through completely all right, unscathed.
But it was not water.
No, it was not.
No.
It was... It was poo. It was poo. It was poo water.
It was a lot of nasty poo water. But luckily, I landed head first, so I was already used to it. I built up an immunity. You had to ease your way into the poo water.
I did ease my way in. And I'm like, I landed in, it was to my ankles. I'm like, oh, dear God, that is a lot of smell.
It's like quicksand. If you struggle, it wants you more.
It's funny because I'm like, okay, at least it's not that deep. And I took a step and I just immediately went down to my waist. I'm like, ah! Come on. It's just like, come on, Zach. And the sewage had woken you up at this point.
Oh, it was a stanky sewer.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you expect in Crimeopolis?
Oh, nothing much. Oh. I expect very little of our town.
It's weird how the sewage runs directly under our building, though. Like, it directly under it. Like,
I mean, where else would our sewage go?
I don't know. I just feel like that's not good for a foundation to have a big old pipe under it that everything's resting on top of.
I'm starting to think that some of the building companies in this town may be a little incompetent.
Yeah, they should listen to me a bit more when I tell them to build more labyrinths.
You just make it worse. So you get up and we're just like, okay, we gotta find a way out.
Yep.
And you're just like, we should go this way, and then you sink a bit lower. I'm like about to your stomach. I'm like, no, we'll just go deeper that way. We should go this way. I turn and it goes up to my shoulders. I'm like,
we should go my way.
Let's go your way.
Oh, but little did we know, the poop was equally as deep on both sides.
It was very deep.
Oh yeah,
you had to handle a lot of stuff.
Ooh.
I made peace with whatever god there may be.
Oh, the sewage god.
We braved the sewers.
Yes.
And we traveled for quite a while, at least 30 minutes.
At least.
We fought a few giant rats.
Yeah. I think... Oh, God. Where did the time go?
I remember we turned one way. It was completely pitch black. The smell was solid at that point. At least it felt like that. It felt like we were not just walking through the sewage, we were physically walking through the smell. Yeah, the stench of it.
But yeah, there was...
So...
I remember that fork in the road. It was a 3-way fork that we could go straight, left, or right. Straight was out of the question.
Yes.
Because...
Why? Why was that?
Did you not see all the rats? The rat, like... I'm pretty sure if there were a subterranean rat king, it would have been nestled in that
listeners
bed of rats.
We couldn't go straight because when Zach says it seems like there was a rat king, we meant that there was an actual giant rat with a fancy cape and a
shit scepter.
Like a scepter.
It was like, I think...
And a crown.
The corn was the gems in the scepter.
The corn was the gems of the shit scepter. That we had come across the Rat King of Crimeopolis. And we're like, that is... We've learned a lot about...
I saw him on my Tinder profile once. Swiped right, I should have swiped left. God.
I don't know which is which, so either way, it's pretty funny.
I won't tell you. We'll leave it to we're interviewed.
You all right there?
Yeah, I just...
You took a bit of a swig.
Yeah, I started drinking water, and then the smell of the sewer, I remembered from the left path, it just went into my nostrils. The memory of that smell went into my nostrils as I was drinking, and I just couldn't swallow the water.
And in the right path, there was a migrating herd of gators, of sewage gators, and we're like, we should probably take the left path.
I think one knew voodoo, so we had to take the left path.
We had to there was a really big one that kind of knew some voodoo, and was tossing some weird shapes, like she threw an X at me, and I didn't dodge in time, and I lost my lucky charm.
Zapozu,
Yeah, and then she, just tossed, some squares and triangles at us, and then she threw at least a circle.
Listeners, that was a lie. She threw no circles.
She didn't throw a single circle. It was pretty much exclusively squares and triangles.
Yeah, why are your feet all the way over on my end of the floor?
Because
look, there is the
I'm
line
trying
on
to
the
warm
floor.
them with our body warmth,
No.
but I don't like you as a person, so I don't want to do the full body, so I'll just do the...
Yeah, but I horse eats corn, you.
No,
huh? Is that what you want?
No.
You kicked the mic.
I did kick the mic, because it called for that. Out of all our choices of either Rat King or Gator Herd, we decided that the smell is probably the best. So we took
It was not.
No.
I would have rather had to fight the Rat
I
King.
would have faced the Rat King any day of the week.
Oh god. Anyway.
So we braved the smell, being the brave adventurers that we are.
To best compare what this smell was, imagine that old silly putty. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Silly putty. You stretch it out and then you stretch it across your face, because when silly putty was out, I was young. I was like, I gotta do everything with silly putty. I'm gonna cover my face, make a mask with it. That smell of silly putty.
And then imagine somebody took shit on that.
Yes, that is exactly. And
then times it by 10.
The smell you get in your hands when you hold a fistful of quarters for too long, and then you smell your hands, you're like, ugh. It's like, ugh. That smell, but amplified it by 10, and as if there were fists of smell constantly punching you up each nostril individually, and like, ah, ah, ah.
That's pretty accurate.
Meanwhile, we're chest deep in shit.
Yeah,
you
used that. I remember when we were walking, you used that exact metaphor, and then a minute later, I'm like, it really smells like shit in here.
Yeah.
I don't have quite the way with words that you do.
You do sometimes, but sometimes it's when it's shit related metaphors, it's my thing. I got it.
Fortunately, after a long and arduous journey, it let out, making me less confident in our fair city of Crimeopolis. It led out into a random alley.
Yes. That
huge tube you would normally see going out into a river or body of water of some kind.
It just went right out.
Just went out into a random alley.
Right behind the local Chinese eatery.
The one that we get lunch from a lot.
A
lot, but now it will be a little.
I don't know, I could go for some,
yeah, I'm actually getting kind of hungry.
Go for some spicy Thai Pao chicken.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, she's getting hungry.
So, we sort of flop out onto the alley.
Imagine a bear swiping a trout out of the water and onto a rock, and the floppy noises it makes.
That was us.
Yeah, that was
out of the sewer.
Yep, straight into a wall, and then on the floor of the alley.
And we are very grateful to be breathing particles of air that did not include shit in them.
Yeah, and I only found several syringes in my legs. So
that's a pretty good. That's better than the average.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories of people wading through the Crimopolis sewers. They came out with 3 years worth of heroin addiction in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think I'm pretty fine. What?
That's the price you pay when you try to brave the sewers to get the mayor's reward on the Rat King of Crimopolis.
Nobody's claimed that reward yet.
No. We could have if we wanted to, but we decided against it.
A lot of money, but we had no weapons. We were literally covered in shit. And I think the Gator was going to jump in on that if we didn't.
At least spectate.
Yeah.
Being let out of the alley, we took a little gander over at the Brooks and Zach 100 Years building, which was a few blocks down.
And I'm gonna say several. Because several is 4 or more. Few would have made it 3. It was definitely more than 3. Morty.
Well, alright, Mr. Semantics person. Alright.
Man, we just waded through shit. We had to have our humility. Not humility, humanity. Yes. Same words.
No, they're... What? Oh my god, I hate all of this. I can't. Anyway.
Go ahead. Oh no, that was... We got the,
Did we ever determine who was shooting at us?
I think it was the police.
I mean, the 911 was kind of a big clue. So we figured it was sort of the police. At least, maybe. Yeah. So...
Standard police call.
We didn't want to walk the streets, just being us.
Right. I mean, we were covered in shit from toe to about chest, so we didn't have to worry about pants.
We didn't worry... There was no worries about pants. Yeah. Everyone would be like, wow, look at those guys in some nice, stylish brown pants.
Wow.
It was not pants.
Hey, are those Brooks and Zach from Brooks and Zach 100 Years? I don't know, man.
They usually don't wear brown pants.
They don't usually wear shit-covered half chest down to their feet.
Being the average Crimopolis alley, it prides itself on having a large amount of garbage in it. So we merely adopted the garbage.
Made it ourselves. I gave myself a nice rotten banana mustache.
Which was not going to fool anybody. Hey. I took a trash bag, wrapped it around myself, make a nice little coat.
Again, it just looked terrible.
It did look awful,
but we made a corset out of a trash bag.
We looked like the average Crimopolis bums, which is what we were going for.
I did take a bag of the Chinese place's chicken bucket chicken, and just put it on my head as a hat.
Yes,
I thought that was nice.
And I got some nice fingerless gloves, as homeless people often do.
You beat up a homeless guy for those. We got too much on our plate right now.
Yeah, we can't worry about these things.
Yeah, I mean, what's he gonna do? Start like the homeless man's union? Shit.
No, that's dumb. Okay, let's... So then we were just like, okay, we need to find shelter now that we are out and about.
Well, and we couldn't go back to the Brooks and Zach 100 Years, and we definitely couldn't go back to any place that we've been before, because chances are, if they had that many snipers at the Brooks and Zach 100 Years, they were probably going to have snipers wherever else.
Now, listeners, you may be aware of some, weather-related events, but just to give you a rundown, Crimopolis is located on the East Coast, and thus we were a little fucked by a gigantic blizzard that came and ruined everybody's weekend, including ours.
About 3 to 30 feet of snow, depending on the draft.
Around that.
Wind mounds.
Some temperatures with the wind chill got pretty
nippy.
Yeah, pretty nippy.
There was a decrease in crime.
As we walked the streets, we did witness a few interesting things. For instance, it being Crimopolis, and the crime rate at night on the streets does not change no matter what. Merely the situation in which the crime takes place changes. We're able to witness firsthand a very dramatic increase in crimes committed against and by snowmen.
I didn't question any of it. I
saw a couple walk by and like, they were just like, we should probably get inside. But first, let's take a look at this nice little snowman right here. He's got the carrot nose and whatever the black things are as the...
Cola for eyes, corncob pipe, button nose.
Yeah, it was lovely. Stick arms. And then they're just like, they were like, look at this lovely little snowman. And then the stick arms fell and real person arms came out. It was a disguise. Yeah. And then they were robbed.
Yeah, but I think the statistics said the crime fell. Maybe because the people who wrote the statistics died.
I don't know.
Crimeopolis is very inconsistent with everything they do.
It's very inconsistent in every single aspect of its existence.
But, we almost got mugged at one point. I don't know if you...
We did.
Yeah, I thought that, they were sentient snowmen.
They're not. They were people disguised as snowmen because sentient snowman is dumb.
Yeah, I realize this now.
Yes.
At the time?
At the time, you did not.
No, there might have been some things in the syringes. That's probably what made me think otherwise.
Probably.
I was really pumped. I was like, I ain't letting no snowman taking around what I'm doing now. Those were almost words I said in the right way. But I grabbed that snowman by his snow circle head and just spun 360. Just a 360 spin. Good thing it was only the snow, because I think I may have killed a man.
It was funny, because when you did that, I saw that, and all it did was get the snow off of the man. You spun it, and the snow just kind of dissipated, and the man's head had not moved at all. He was very intimidating.
Yeah, I saw the tattoos. He had him, like, across his face, like a Mike Tyson kind of thing.
Yeah, but more swastika-y.
It was like a line of swastikas,
It was a fancy little pattern of swastikas. So I saw this, and you, with the syringes in your leg, did not really comprehend it at the time. So
I thought the snowmen were all people underneath, and that when... This is me when I had the, whatever was in my system talking. We thought that we created life by rolling the pure snow together and stacking it, and then a person was born into it. That's why I hugged him. And
that's why I grabbed you, kicked the snowman in the balls, and then ran as we saw a herd of snowmen coming through the blizzard at us.
I thought they wanted hugs. Did they not want hugs?
They did not.
They wanted me to die.
Yes, they wanted to kill you brutally.
Okay. Just making sure.
And, essentially, now we're here.
Actually, that kind of probably helped us blend in a bit more, because you can't really go through Crimeopolis without being part of one angry mob.
No.
So, whoever was following us probably saw that and went, they're just typical guys. But, we got here, the landlady or landlord, we didn't even see the land person's face. She was just behind that door, said, how much you got?
And then we promised a lot of money that would be paid when the rent is due.
Hopefully the rent's not due for a while.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, that's gonna be awkward. We need Alright.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That's the policy of the Brooks and Zach 100 Years podcast.
We'll need to find a way to make money. But in the meantime, I guess we've got this nice small apartment.
We're just in a kind of a shithole right now.
Yeah.
There's not a lot on the walls. They're pretty bare. We got a couch, kinda.
I wouldn't call it a couch.
No, we got kind of a bed. We got kind of a radiator.
It's not a bed, it's a mattress.
I'm using the radiator in order to power our recording equipment, because we got to get this out to the masses.
Yeah, so we might freeze. We might not. I'm going to blame you if we freeze to death.
Okay, I will take that blame.
Alright, good. As long as you're taking the blame for our death together. Because if one of us dies, the other one has to die. That's what the bomb...
Yeah!
That's the bomb I put in our chests on our way here. Wait, there's that bomb, right? That wasn't me on a trip with the syringes still?
No.
I should probably take these syringes out.
That was just a joke. There is no bomb.
Oh, okay.
Notes for later. Find the bomb in chest and get rid of it.
What are you whispering?
Nothing. I don't have my own recording thing.
Oh, it sounded like you had your own recording thing.
Well, I don't.
Is there a Brooks 50 Years podcast I should know about?
No.
Yeah, God, that's a lot of... Brooks, now, come on!
No, what? That's crazy. There wouldn't be a secret podcast. What? No. What? No.
Okay, at first I was concerned, but you're pretty adamant about the no, so I have to agree.
Yeah. So anyway, here we are. What do you want to do?
I think we should probably make some, I guess, renovations. I mean, the window is just drawn on the wall.
Yeah, there's actually no sunlight coming in here.
I mean, there is that one light bulb, kind of flickering a lot, though, so...
Considering it's broken in half.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive that it's still flickering.
Hopefully we don't have to change it, because that's just more jagged glass that's going to end up in your hand.
I built up an immunity to it at this point.
I don't think that's how that works.
I'm pretty sure. Gotta keep shooting myself with low caliber bullets so I can build up an immunity to the higher caliber ones, right?
No.
You sure?
Oh my god. I hate all of this. I hate everything.
I think you're just
We're just trapped in an apartment in a blizzard.
Would you like one of my syringes?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's why
you're
cranky.
I don't want a syringe.
I'm sure you could have one. I mean,
God damn it.
There's only a little bit of my blood and a bunch of other people's poo on it.
So what should the topic for this episode of 100 Years be?
Considering that it's still freezing, I'm gonna say top 3 snow-related things.
All of that. Top snow-related movies, top 3 snow things. That's the title. That's the full title.
It's gonna be a great title.
So, yeah, in order to compensate for the coldness, I say we do some snow stuff. So
compensate?
I don't know.
In relation to?
God damn it, Zach.
I think to compensate, we talk about the best hot levels or fire-related movies, like Frozen. Wait, no.
That's a good place to start. Frozen. How do you feel about Frozen?
I did like I liked a couple songs in it.
Yeah.
And Not Let It Go, that one was overhyped. But I like the Frozen Heart, the one where all the miners of ice or something.
I don't know the names of any of the songs. I like the Ice People. That's the opening song.
Yeah, that one. That's the song. That's the song I liked a lot. But, I mean, it was alright. I expected it to be a Christmas movie with all the snow, but it wasn't. I don't know. There was a lot of snow. I subconsciously associate snow with Christmas.
You know, January and February are a thing.
Yeah, and? You're saying there's snow in January
and
February?
It's January right now, and it's snowing outside.
There was a lot of snow outside. But, you know, in a parallel universe, it didn't snow, so I'm right.
JFK didn't get shot, god damn it!
You've been hanging out a lot with Yaskovich.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have. Yes, that is a true fact.
I see. Me or him? Which one would it be? Well,
I like Tangled better than Frozen, to be honest. Yes.
We're just gonna avoid. Oh, I like Tangled a lot more too. Though.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a stronger movie.
I wouldn't say that. I just say I enjoyed it more.
No, I'd say it was a stronger movie too. I feel like more stuff happened in it.
I guess so.
There was more of a drive to the plot.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then all right. Let's compare Tangled and Frozen.
Yeah.
Let's see. Plot of Tangled. Thief finds princess. Princess goes outside. Princess bonds with thief. Thief takes her to the castle. Misunderstanding and love prevails. And that's Tangled.
Well, if you're gonna be one of those people who's
no,
like...
and then I'm gonna compare Frozen that way too. See how many, because that was like what, 6 points for Tangled.
I guess.
Okay, Frozen. Neglected daughter, powers gone wrong, trying to save that person. Good guy is bad guy. Love prevails. Incest.
I don't like how you're trying to apply like a mathematical thing to something. You're trying to apply math to art, which is bad, and you should not do that.
Why?
Because that makes me upset.
Why does it make you upset?
Because, okay, this is just like a personal pet peeve of mine.
Okay.
Because there's only it's this thing about story structure, and how stories can have very similar structures between each other, but be very vastly different and everything. And when I hate it, something I hate, you go on a College Humor-esque website, collegehumor.com.
Right.
And they're just 12 movies that are exactly the same. And then it's just like, number 1, The Matrix in Star Wars. Guy does a thing, and then becomes a guy. And then I hate it. I'm like, well, if you generalize enough, you can make any movie exactly the same as another movie. And then, like, for Frozen and Tangled, if you just generalize enough, it's just like, a girl goes on journey and does a thing and gets friend.
I'm gonna have a counterpoint to that, because there's this...
There's nothing wrong with it necessarily. That's a pet peeve of mine whenever people do that and think they're being clever.
Okay.
I'm just like, you're just speaking in vague enough terms to have it be similar to two different stories.
Do you think that you could do that with The Dark Knight Rises and Hook, or Men in Black and Kingsman? Well,
okay.
Yeah, I could do it with that one.
Men in Black and Kingsman would be easier.
Okay,
so I'm gonna go with Dark Knight Rises and Hook.
Yes.
There's a guy who... Dark Knight Rises and Hook. There is a guy who used to be famous for doing this stuff, and he had this sort of, like, identity that he used to be famous for, but then he, for whatever reason, he stopped being that famous persona and everything, and he just, like, went away and grew his hair out long and all that kind of stuff. And then, because a villain related to stuff from his past comes in and messes shit up, so he has to go back and regain that persona that he left behind, and then he eventually fights and prevails during a huge battle between the army of the good guys and the army of the bad guys fighting each other.
Okay.
See, if you make the terms general enough, you can make any movie sound like any other movie, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people can make jokes or funny or whatever. It's just like whenever people are trying to be clever by connecting these things by saying, oh, this thing is unoriginal because it's just the same plot recycled from this thing. I'm like, well, plots have been, like, the structures have been reused for thousands of years. Doesn't matter. I know that is the channel that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that does that.
I enjoy that channel.
That's the one where it's like, it's not as obnoxious as, like, other stuff, but I still find I'm like, that's not my kind of thing.
Yeah, you like to kill fun all the time, that's all.
Okay, look, motherfucker.
Yeah?
You can't even talk about that thing. You cannot. I am very much a lover of fun and joy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are almost words. Stop it.
I often go on rants.
Yeah, no, I know. We've been doing this for 24?
I think this is the 24th one.
Ooh.
Oh, next week is 25, which could be a special if we want. I don't know.
No, I think we do the 52nd episode would be special. Because that's a year of doing this. If we're still alive. Oh, we promised we'd do it for 100 years, so...
Yeah, so we're going to have to not die.
Yep. All right.
We're declaring it now. We are never going to die. Knock on wood. Now I'm immortal. That's how that works.
I don't know if I feel that much safer, because still looking
Well,
at...
you haven't knocked on the wood yet, so obviously.
I don't believe in superstitions.
Well, me neither, but still. Just in case. See? Now you're immortal.
I don't know if this is wood. I think it's styrofoam painted like wood.
Look, I'm sure it's fine.
This is not a lovely apartment.
So, other snow stuff. So Frozen was alright.
Right.
I didn't love it.
Nah. What about in video games? What's some notable...
There's always an ice level.
There's always an ice level on everything. In Mario Galaxy, have you played those ones?
No, I have not.
They do ice levels right, because they make the controls still slippery, but, like, in a fun way.
See, that's why I don't like ice levels, is because it's like a normal level, but the controls are awful because it's all slippery and stuff.
But it's normal and slippery until, like, you shake the Wiimote and then Mario does a spin and then he starts ice skating and he's very precise.
Okay, so they fixed that, but you know how, like, in every ice level
and everything like that,
it's just awful.
Oh god, I hate that, because especially when there's like no borders.
That was a holdover from back in the day when every video game had a set number of levels.
There was the forest level, the cave level, the ice level, the fire level, and the final level, which is maybe
the boss level.
Yeah,
and the Mario games still only ever do that.
Hey, if it ain't broke. I don't think it's broke.
Oh, okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I didn't
you
say
got
it.
You got a problem with how I do things around here? Huh?
No. I mean, I like the Mario games a lot, so...
I just wanted an excuse to hit where the mic was to make it bounce.
So is that why you're so confrontational today?
Look, man, I don't have to deal with you.
Hoth was pretty awesome. Whenever I was a kid, that was pretty much the only... Okay, there were a few things that I would imagine when it would snow a lot, and this is what me and my friends would do when we went out in the snow. Number one, Hoth. We always did Hoth. We always pretend there were AT-ATs and speeders and all that stuff, and we'd pretend to be the rebel soldiers, and it'd be great. Because that's like the... If I think of it from our childhoods, that's really the only iconic thing related to snow, if you really think about it.
Right.
Because, like... I'm trying to think of other, like, famous, like, snow stuff from pop culture and all that. And the only other things...
Castle Crashers.
The only other things we would do would, like, the other two things would be Battle of the Bulge from World War II. We'd pretend to fight Nazis. And number 3 is just a Mount Everest, where we'd make a pile of snow and try to climb it, like Mount Everest. And that's what we'd do in the snow and fun. Back when we were children, and not adults. Now as adults, we look at the snow and we're like... How am I going to get my car through this?
Yeah.
How am I going to go to work?
Man, it's just the worst. Because I definitely saw some people in Crimeopolis going, now I got to dig out my car out of this parallel parked spot. So let me just... And he only got halfway through before he got stabbed and his keys stolen, and the person just drove off with his car. And I'm like, if it didn't snow, he could have maybe gotten away. Maybe I hallucinated all that. I don't know, man. Everything's just a blur today.
I don't know.
But Castle Crashers.
Castle Crashers. Also, what about Castle Crashers?
Have you not played it?
No, I have not.
Okay, we gotta play it. Don't you have it on Steam?
Yes, I do.
Alright, we'll play that eventually with Mattis.
Cool.
But there is an ice world. Yeah. And it's like a big old ice temple and everything like that. A bunch of icicles falling down, and you like see a shadow, and you're like, oh, that's where an icicle's gonna fall, and you gotta move, and you gotta get your way through, and there's like hidden secrets and everything like that. There's the bipolar bear, which is hilarious because he'll just kill anybody.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just a good old fun time for everyone.
Those poor polar bears.
They're bipolar.
I'm thinking of snow and stuff. I'm like, oh, they're not in good shape.
Global warming, right? Why is it so cold? I don't get it. Let's vote Trump.
And it's like somebody dumped a big old bucket of ice onto Crimeopolis, and it's frozen.
So, speaking of frozen, can we get this heater back on anytime soon? Okay.
So more, what other snow stuff? Did you see the Everest movie? That came out pretty recently. It was about a bunch of people climbing Mount Everest.
Oh, right, I heard about that. I mean, I guess one of them gets to the top, everybody else dies.
Is that what happens?
Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight was a snow.
Hateful Eight, yeah. Have you seen it? You've seen Hateful Eight.
I liked it a lot. We talked about Hateful Eight already.
Yeah, I also liked it, but I thought it was probably one of his weakest films.
Anyway, what's another one? The Grey? The Revenant?
Wait. The Grey.
Yes.
I love that movie. That movie is great.
I thought it was Grey.
The Great.
The thing I really hated about it, though, was they didn't show you the fight.
Okay.
In the trailer, it made you pumped for the fight.
That's not the filmmaker's fault. That's the trailer's fault, because the trailer was just like... Because the film is like this really fantastic, like, it's not about the fight or the stupid Liam Neeson taking bullshit or anything like that. It's about, like, a meditation on, like, death and thinking about, like, death and how people live their lives and make use of it in the face of their own mortality and all of that great stuff. And then it's not about the wolf fight. And then the trailer made it about the wolf fight. So a bunch of stupid people were just like, the movie's bad because we don't get a wolf fight. And
Still
then I
wanted to see the wolf fight. I thought it was great.
Look,
I just wanted that wolf fight too.
I'd like to see the wolf fight in a different movie. In that movie, I'm like, please don't show the wolf fight. It got to the point where, like, it got far enough along in the movie, I'm like, if they show the wolf fight, it's probably going to make the movie worse.
Huh.
So it would be better if Liam Neeson made a movie about fighting wolves instead of fighting wolves in that movie. So, but the filmmakers were smart, and I like that director. He made a movie called Stretch, which we watched together.
Oh, he also made Stretch?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the
Stretch
same
was
director.
Good. Stretch was fun.
He made the A-Team remake, but we're not going to hold that against him.
No. Stretch was funny, though.
We saw Chris Pine's ballsack in Stretch.
Yes, we also
So
saw...
if you have not seen the movie Stretch, it stars Patrick Wilson, who's a great actor, and also has Chris Pine as a crazy rich man, and you see his ballsack.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
And you also see Norman Reedus who killed a person.
Yeah, who looking like very dirty Norman Reedus-y.
Yeah. You also see it's a lot of unexpected fun. It's great.
And The Grey is also fantastic. I love that movie. Zach is very conscious of our
the
content.
Heat. What?
Oh, what?
What? Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
The heat and the content, I guess. I don't know, man. Look, man, it's cold. I'm shivering. You say that the radiator will start working once you unplug your computer, but
I said no such thing.
I'm going to believe it will. Because if it doesn't, we're gonna.
I think you'll have to lay down for a bit. Maybe you should go get the mattress and just have a call.
Oh, you want me to get the mattress? Hold on. Here, I'm on the mattress now.
You just sort of leaned over and
Yeah.
said you were on the mattress.
There, I was technically on it. I was touching the mattress. This is a small room.
Okay. All right. I see how it is.
I'm grumpy. I think I'm going to withdrawal now. I don't know. How do drugs work? Is this how drugs work?
Maybe, I guess.
Took out the syringes. I want more syringes.
No.
Give me the syringes.
No. Don't worry. Okay. So, that's snow in movies. Snow is often in movies and video games. And sometimes books, which we don't talk about, because who reads?
Oh, speaking of books.
Yeah?
I recently found a copy of Rough and Ready that I'm going to read.
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah,
Would you like to describe Rough and Ready to the listeners?
Rough and Ready Viking time travel is, well, I'm only about 20 pages in. Or no, I'm going to say 10 pages, because I don't want to lie to the listeners. Because if they're like, oh, I got to page 11, and that's when it was great. But I'm at to page 10 right now. And what I do know from the plot is that there are 5, maybe 6 Navy SEAL people. It's very hard to tell because they keep calling somebody 2 different names for no reason. Same guy calls the same person 2 different names. It's like, hey, Jim, let's get Jack. Jeff. What? Why is Jeff also Jim? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, there's the main character, Torolf. Are you still following me?
Yes.
Torolf is a part of this Navy SEAL team, and they're about to do a mission. It's more dangerous than going up against Al-Qaeda or Saddam combined. And you're like, what? All right, sure, I'm still following this, I guess. And then Torolf is like, all right, guys, before we go into this, I just need to let you know that when I was 16, I was on a longboat, and it was a Viking. It traveled through time, and I showed up in present-time California.
And was their reaction, what? Excuse me?
Their reaction was, what? And one of them was like, yeah, that sounds about right. And then I was like, yeah, of course that sounds about right. Yeah, but you're kind of crazy. We don't believe you. It's like, no, guys, it makes sense because the guy we're going to go get, he's the one who sent me back in time. It's his fault. They're like, oh, okay, we completely believe you immediately. Yeah, let's do this. Like, they're not sarcastic. They truly believe him now that he is a Viking who time traveled. What?
So all that happened within the span of 10 pages?
Yes.
They not only did they introduce...
They have a racist black character as well. Not the character is racist. They just portray him as very, 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 very unnecessarily black. I'm like, there's nobody like this in real life.
Okay.
Like, what is this?
So, within the span of 10 pages, they have not only introduced the setting, all the characters, thrown the time travel concept right on them before you get to know anything about anyone.
Yep.
And now they've all bought into the time travel concept within the span of 10 pages.
Yes.
Within the span of a prologue to a normal book.
Correct.
They've done all that.
Don't worry. In probably about...
Oh, I'm not worried.
another 5 to 10 pages is going to be the sex scenes I'm looking forward to in this book. And
oh, yes, the reason why you got it. Because I've seen the cover. And listeners, if you've ever had a mom who has romance novels, imagine the cover of those. That is the cover of Rough and Ready.
Who's the main actor for Arrow?
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell. Imagine him shirtless in front of an ocean background.
With a Viking longship on it.
That is the cover to this book. Anyway, so there's such great, perfect lines of dialogue like, he entered her like a lottery. Or, his dick aneurysmed as his abs galloped in the distance. And I'm like, what? He thrust so hard he developed Dick Parkinson's.
And stuff like that leads me to believe it is a parody novel and not an actual.
I don't think it is.
I think you're just mistaken.
I don't know, man.
Because I remember you playing some of the audiobook, and there was a line. I don't know if this is inappropriate for the podcast, but it's just like he sensually inserted himself into her clunge and stuff like that. I'm like, it is impossible. It is actually impossible for this author to be serious.
I don't know.
No, you don't say the line Dick Parkinson's. Zach, you're just mistaken. I know.
Look, but if it was a comedy, why isn't it funny yet until I get to the sex scenes?
It's gotta build it up.
It's 10 pages of stupid build-up.
10 pages is nothing in a novel.
I know, and I wish it was less because this is just such a terrible book. Anyway, that's a whole different episode to talk about.
That's a whole different episode.
Once I finish reading it, we'll do an episode about it.
Well, that just sounds pretty awful.
It'll be great.
So, let's get into that time again in which we'll be signing off. But before we do that, we need to figure out our situation right here.
It's
First
terrible.
off, who is attacking the Brooks and Zach 100 Years building? What have we ever done to anyone other than the murders?
Yeah, but that was after.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Was it? I don't know.
Look,
we have no sense of continuity. Anyway, don't worry. Do you know what this means?
No.
The 911 thing.
Yeah.
That was a clue.
It wasn't a clue.
Do you know with clues, you get a mystery. And with you get a mystery, you get detectives who are willing to solve the mystery. Brooks and Zach, 100 Years Detective Agency. We're going right now.
I don't.
This is gonna be our new base. Imagine this is the pilot of the TV show, and they're just like, this place is crap, but then we fix it up, and it becomes the mainstay, the only set we can afford, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. We need clients. We need hats. We need trench coats. We need a door with glass and with our logo on it.
We need a window.
Yeah. We need all this stuff. Don't worry. We'll get to the bottom of this. This is now the Brooks and Zach 100 Years Mystery Podcast, where we solve the mystery of whatever. I don't know.
Follow us on Twitter at Squeezy McCheesy, at Brave Snuggles, at 100 Years Pod. Follow us on the SoundCloud, or if you don't have us on SoundCloud, go to iTunes.
Contact us at
Pinterest.
Not Pinterest. No one cares about Pinterest, Zach. Oh. You gotta go to Gmail and you do Brooks and Zach 100 Years at gmail.com and just write us an email. Tell us I don't know. Tell us about you. Let's hear about you.
Would you like to buy some drugs?
Yeah, we're selling all of them.
Yeah.
Then everything must go.
It's like shares, stocks, and bonds. We're giving you a ticket that says worth one heroin in 50 years.
Check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud, and also check out our YouTube channel, which uploads the episodes and
maybe more.
Maybe more stuff. We don't know. No, we're not going to be doing anything else. This is actually the last episode of the podcast. Thank you for everyone who has supported us.
Yep, it's been 100 years
is officially canceled.
Yep.
We are, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All right, I'll just sign us off.
Same
way we do every week. All right, so you close your eyes, you tilt your head back, try to touch your chin to the ceiling as you keep your back straightened. You visualize a glowing yellow ball. Is that the sun? No, it's not the sun. It's probably a spotlight, a yellow glowing spotlight coming closer to your face. It's pinpointing itself onto your forehead. At that point you realize it's not the sun. It's a giant magnifying glass focusing the Earth's energy straight into your forehead. You are now becoming one with the universe. Your first thought as your new corporeal body is Brooks and Zach 100 Years. thanks for listening, everybody. It's good times. We're canceled now.
See ya.
Forever.